Hey guys, today we're gonna do a video on replacing the lower control arms on a third gen Sienna. Our Sienna is a 2012 Sienna front wheel drive. This should be the same for pretty much any third gen Sienna, maybe even all wheel drive. So there's plenty of videos on YouTube where they're replacing the lower control arm on the passenger side, so I'm not really gonna cover a lot on this side, since there are multiple videos online specifically for the passenger side. I'm gonna focus on the driver's side when I get to it, but I'm gonna do a quick rundown summary of replacing the passenger side. Usually the LCAs on the third gen Siennas, they're notoriously known to go bad pretty early. If you're experiencing any vibration at high speeds and you've balanced your tires and you've eliminated that factor, if you're getting clunks on speed bumps or just imperfections on the roads and you hear like some thumping, you're getting that weird thump from the suspension, or if you're stopping or accelerating all of a sudden and you hear thump, it's most likely your lower control arm bushings. The ones that go bad are specifically this one right here, the rear, and if you look, these are in bad shape. They're torn. They are torn right there, you can see. So what's happening is that bushing is torn, so the thump you're hearing is this arm is moving, and that's where you're hearing the thumping noise, because no longer the rubber is there to insulate any of the vibration or movement. It is pretty much gone. So I'm getting this from both sides. The van has over 120,000 miles. I've been told by a bunch of Sienna owners that these tend to go bad around 80,000, just under 100,000 miles. So I'm pretty much at that point where these have gone bad, and visually inspecting them, they are bad. So I'm gonna do a quick rundown on the passenger side. Like I said, there's plenty of videos on YouTube to do the passenger side. I'm just gonna do this real quick for those that are watching this. Alright, first thing you want to do is remove the lower ball joint. Usually you want to remove that castle nut up top. You're going to need an open-ended wrench, 19mm, to remove that that castle nut right there. Make sure you remove the cotter pin, and you loosen that. Don't take it completely off. Get this separated from the steering knuckle with a pickle fork, or just hitting it with a hammer right there. Hit it there, and that should loosen this lower ball joint from the knuckle. Next, you're gonna have to loosen this motor mount. It's held in by, I believe, 1, 2, 3 bolts. I believe they're all, the bottom ones are 17 mil. These are, this one's accessible right here. And then these have covers. I already removed it. There's one cover here that access that nut right there. You see, those are 17 mil. You remove those, and this loosens the motor mount from the subframe here. Next is the top of this motor mount. This is a 19 mil, so you want to loosen this. Okay, the other bolts that you need to get off along after you loosen this mount is the bracket. They're connected to the engine block, so there are 3 14 mil bolts that you have to remove. It's this one, this one, this one, and then there's another one right down here, that one. They're 14 mil. They're pretty long bolts, but you loosen those and this should come out, and then you remove this whole piece right here, and that gives you access to this part of the lower control arm. And these bolts are here are 22 mil. There's one right here, and then there's another one right there, that one. And then after you do that is to remove this. This is a 19 mil, and then you should get like a wrench, open a wrench here to hold this bolt and then impact it from the bottom. This is 19 mil, and then once you get the pin out, this bolt out, and this nut, this should come out. You might have to wiggle it out, but then you'll have the whole lower control arm out. So this is how you would do the passenger side of the Sienna. That was a quick rundown. Like I said, if you want more of a detailed video, there are other YouTube videos you can check out. There's multiple ones. Okay, this is the driver's side. It's almost identical to the passenger side. Only real difference is instead of the motor mount, it's the transmission mount, which is that. It's going to be looks like it's going to be a lot easier than the actual motor mount on the passenger side, because if you remember, on the passenger side you had that weird bracket with the 314 mils back there. That was pretty hard to get. This looks more straightforward. Looks like a 19 up here, and then 17 mils in the bottom. We're gonna go ahead and remove the shield so we can get a better access on this. So these are 10 mils, and then this is a push clip. So what you do is you press the center of this right here, and it should release the clip. All right, let's press the center, and it should release it. There we go. And these are 10 mils. And this is a 19 mil. Kind of loosened it, so there you go. Alright. Okay, once you get the top motor mount, go underneath, get these bolts. These are 17 mils. Okay, for me to get this out, I had to jack up the transmission. I didn't do it from the pan. I kind of got a block of wood and actually had it on the body, the case of the transmission. And you just lift it as high as you can. And I had to finagle it to get this piece just enough to slide out from underneath, so I can remove the transmission mount. A little bit of pain in the ass, but it's not impossible to do. And then these are 22 mil, these right here, and then this one is 19 mil. So let's get those taken out of. Okay, here's the original one. You can see it is done. It's totally separated. And then here's the new Moog one. I've also decided I'm gonna add the ball joints. I'm gonna take the Moog ones off because the ones that actually in the van were replaced about 15,000 miles ago, and those are original Toyota ones, and they're still good condition. So to remove the ball joints from the control arm, it's just 17 millimeter bolts. So we're gonna switch this bracket here and put everything back together. Okay, newer lower control arm is in. Basically just reverse how you uninstalled it. So and like I said, for this motor mount, this trans mount actually, you're gonna try to lift it, the trans, as high as you can, and then you're gonna have to, like I said, you're gonna have to pry a little bit so you can get this to slide out. Remove the mount. Same thing when you put it back in. You have to pry and then just push it in a little bit, and eventually it gets in, and then from here you just lower the mount and it should be ready to go. Alright, that's it. That's the new LCA has been installed. I thought the driver's side would be a little bit easier than the passenger side. Technically it would be, except if it wasn't this issue with this motor mount, getting the transmission lifted high enough to get this the top stud to clear it so you can take it out. But honestly, it's not that bad with a crowbar. Once you get that out, it's pretty easy. It's pretty accessible. So I hope this helps out. Hope this helps you fix your LCAs on the 3rd Gen Sienna. Alright, thanks for watching.